a guy who hits as hard as Conor does is the bigger, stronger fighter in this deal. Doesn't have a chance of winning the fight is just asinine.
Dana, how disappointed were you about the news about Jon Jones?
Yeah, I'm not thrilled about it, but you know, it is what it is. I'm just focusing on this fight this weekend, and I'll get into that.
When you look back, do you have to sort of pinch yourself to be here from where you started?
Well, it's crazy because when Floyd just grabbed me up at the top and was talking to me, and it's like full circle for me and him. 21 years ago, he was an amateur looking to get into the pros, and I was a guy in the game, and that we're both standing here, 21 years later, with my guy about to fight him is pretty crazy.
Last stop over here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought this was the impossible fight because I thought a deal would never get done. Thought, look how long it took for Mayweather-Pacquiao to get done. How are we going to get two guys from two different sports done? But, here we are.
What's going through your mind right now? I mean, you said earlier that, chills almost.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I've ever felt this way before, to be honest with you. I normally going into the week of a fight, they're both my guys, and as good as the fight's going to be and as nervous as you get about the fight and as excited, one guy's going to win and one guy's not. It's up to them, but this is a completely different story. It's my guy versus their guy, so it's a different feeling.
They always say afterwards that that's when you can really enjoy the moment, but are you enjoying every step of the way?
Yeah, I don't have to deal with any of the burden of putting on this event, the production. I don't have to worry about all that stuff and, work for hours, working on every little detail. So, yeah, I just get to show up and be a fan, and just back my guy. That's it. So it's a completely different feeling. It's weird. I'll tell you this. When the lights go out and the music starts, my fucking heart's going to start pumping, my hands are going to start sweating, and I'm going to be nervous the whole night until it turns him into a snow angel.
How big of a risk is this for the UFC, putting their most popular and one of their better fighters against one of the best boxers of this era?
Yeah, it's a little freaky. I'm nervous, but Conor's the guy for this job. He really is the guy for this job. I call him the unicorn, man. I've never dealt with anybody like this guy. What I've learned about him, many things I've learned about him over the last 4 years, but pressure, it's almost like when he shines the most. When the most pressure is on him, he shines the most. He's a very unique, special individual, and I'm looking forward to this.
Dana, what were you, right here. Sorry. Are you more emotionally invested in this fight or Chuck Liddell when he went over to Pride?
It's very much the same, except for the fact that Chuck was fighting in mixed martial arts, right. It was just, I think the different thing that I was thinking about was the ring. They were fighting in a ring, but other than that, it was the same sport at least, and he wasn't going up against the greatest boxer of all times. But I've been saying this all along. For all the people who come out and say he doesn't belong here, this fight's ridiculous, and everything else, when he knocks Floyd Mayweather out on Saturday, what are all these nations? They're going to say Floyd was too old and Floyd should, It's going to be a whole nother set of excuses. So get ready. Remember I told you that. Whole nother set of excuses when he knocks him out.
Hello, Dana. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
You've recently said that Ronda Rousey is the UFC Mike Tyson for the women, right?
Right.
Would you believe that?
I didn't recently say that. That was like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I'm sorry. You think that Conor McGregor could take Mike Tyson on a boxing fight?
At the time when I said that about Ronda Rousey, she was the biggest star in the UFC. Obviously, there's no doubt about it. Conor McGregor is the biggest star right now. If Conor McGregor wins on Saturday night, he'll be the biggest athlete on the planet. There won't be a bigger star in all of sports than Conor McGregor.
You think he could take Mike Tyson on a boxing fight? If there was a possibility?
Let's start with Floyd Mayweather.
All right. Okay, thank you.
It's a big chance to shock the boxing world.
Yeah. I just, the thing about shocking the boxing world is that the boxing world is saying dumb stuff like this guy doesn't even belong in there and he doesn't have any chance. A guy who hits as hard as Conor McGregor absolutely has a chance. And when he knocks Floyd Mayweather out on Saturday, they're all going to say, Floyd was too old and this and that. They'll have a whole different set of excuses.
Now, of course, you're the CEO of UFC, but you also boxing amateur a long time ago. Honestly, what do you think that is going to happen Saturday?
Well, everybody thinks that, you know, he's going to go in there and he's boxing the best boxer. He's not boxing anybody. This is under boxing rules, but you better believe this is going to be a fight. This isn't going to be a boxing match. It's going to be a fight. When you're in boxing, you know, you throw jab, a right hand or a hook to the body comes behind it. None of that stuff is going to become. Floyd is the master of knowing what comes next, and he's the best defensive fighter ever. Those aren't the same patterns that are going to come from Conor McGregor. It's going to be completely different. And Conor doesn't just have to hit him on the chin. He's going to hit him in the elbows. He's going to hit him in the shoulders. He's going to hit him all over his arms, the side of the head, the side of his gloves. He's on 29-year-old legs. Floyd's on almost 41-year-old legs. And anybody who's been 41 knows what that's like. Conor is the bigger, stronger man who will apply pressure, hit him with hard punches. He will eventually catch him and he will knock him out.
Now, after Saturday, are you ready to see more UFC fighters trying to boxing match?
I am not. No.
Do you think this is gonna be the only one?
God, I hope so.
Floyd said that Conor needs this fight more than him. Do you agree with him?
No. Conor McGregor could have lined up fights all day long in the UFC. He'd have done huge numbers. And, Floyd also said he was the A-side. Then we went out on a world tour and we saw who the A-side really was when we went out on that tour. It definitely wasn't Floyd. If being the A-side means you get the most boos, he's the A-side.
Last question.
How long do you think it's going to take the fight for Conor to win? I guess.
The sooner the better for me, man.
All
So
right,
I don't
for
have
me
a
too.
fucking heart attack.
As a promoter, has this been a breath of fresh air for you? Because like the Chuck Liddell situation, you could just back one guy. You could be sort of the old school promoter as opposed to being neutral. Have you enjoyed that process? You can't wear a McGregor shirt when he's fighting in the UFC, right?
It's a catch-22. It's fun to be a fan because I get to wear. So, just so you know, the Patriots won the Super Bowl last year. And I wore Patriots shirts every day leading up to the Super Bowl. So, not that I'm superstitious or anything, but I'm wearing Conor McGregor shirts every day. And yes, it is kind of fun to be a fan, but at the same time, this is a different feeling. I'm not used to this feeling. I don't know if I like it or don't like it. I'm sure if he wins, I'll love it. But
Different is fun.
Huh?
Different is fun.
Different is different. It's definitely different.
Dana, we have a present for you. It's like a boxing Mexican thing.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And for the Mexican fans, is Cain gonna fight Stipe Miocic soon?
Is Kane going to fight Steve? Kane's still out with an injury, so he's not back yet.
Okay.
So no.
And about Jon Jones, the last question: how hard is to support a fighter so much and that he fails?
It definitely doesn't feel good, and I'm not happy about it. But what are you going to do? You know, what are you going to do? I'll deal with that Sunday.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.